This is a special day. The special day is because we are at home of Hans-Bernd Schäfer, Professor Hans-Bernd Schäfer, and this is another series of financial thoughts which we have developed, but those financial thoughts will not be so much about the money, they will be about law and economics. The reason I'm here is that thanks to Hans-Bernd Schäfer, we have published the first volume of your famous book devoted to the law and economics, which was originally developed in German language. Now it's in 7th edition, correct? Or 6th one?
Six.
Six. This is the first edition, but the first volume, but within weeks or within even, I would say, days, there will be the second volume, which will cover the full volume of a German book. But the German book is not only in Poland or in Germany. The example of the book which is going outside to the world is, for instance, this edition of your book in Portuguese. These are not the only ones which went to the market, because I know that the English one is as well. This is Edward Edgar's, the very famous publishing house. So now the question is whether your book will be in Esperanto, you know? Because you know that Zamenhof was Polish, yes, by origin, and he developed this artificial language, which unfortunately did not make so famous in the world. But anyway, Hans-Bernd Schäfer, thank you very much for the invitation. And today we will talk about, in this episode, about history of law and economics.
Thank you very much, dear friend, Professor Bełdowski. We have been working together for many years now. I think we met first in early 21st century. I think it was in 2003 or 2004 when you invited me to visit Poland. And
Indeed,
I remember
indeed.
this very well, that I gave some talks in Warsaw and other places in Poland.
Indeed, we are getting older, Professor. But anyway, I'd like to come back to the topic of history of law and economics. Why am I so pushy on this matter? Because when I read the books, sometimes I have the feeling that everything was done in America, yes, which in my humble opinion is not true. Because when we look at the first wave of law and economics, because we know that we make this distinction between the first wave and the second wave of law and economics, first wave was European in the sense that it started, let's say, in the middle of 19th century, I would say, when the economics as the science started to mature, yes. And Germany, in this regard, has quite a lot of tradition, because when we think about now the science, we usually make this mistake because we assume that it was the same 100 years ago, yes? But when we look at how it was structured, well, the economists were not so much independent at the time. They were very close to law, yes? That means that there were special cathedrals or departments, whatever we call it, yes, about the science of the state, yes. That was where we could see those economists and lawyers sitting together. Am I right?
Yes, sure. In Germany, but also in Austria in the 19th century, we did not have law schools, but we had this, what you rightly called, staatswissenschaftliche Fakultäten, which included not only the law, the discipline of law, but also the discipline of economics. And a very prominent examples of the 19th century is Eugen Böhm-Bawerk, the great economist from the Austrian school, who is highly regarded by both lawyers and economists today. And he wrote what is now called his habilitation thesis. He wrote a book called Rechte und Verhältnisse, which in translation means entitlements or property rights or rights and relations. And he tried to find out how the interplay. The relations are not legal, they are more social, and the others are legal institutions. And he tried to find out what the relation between these two is. This is one important example. Josef Schumpeter is another example. He studied in Austria. He was an Austrian, studied in Austria, and he studied economics. So he has not a law degree, but he studied, of course, at a law school, at a staatswissenschaftliche school. And therefore, he went for some time to Cairo in Egypt, which was the seat at the time of the International Court of Justice. And there was an English, it was also an English colony at the time, and they had a law that everybody who has a degree, a master's degree from a law faculty, is entitled to has access to court as a lawyer. So he worked there as a lawyer without having a legal diploma.
That's something really new for me. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And also...
and he also managed the bank, which I think went into bankruptcy, am I right? Or went into trouble, Schumpeter.
Schumpeter, yes. When he came back to Austria, he became Minister of Finance in the new established republic. And he was, at the time, the Austrian policy about the relation between Germany and Austria was that Austria should become part of Germany because it is not big enough to maintain
its own.
On its own. And Schumpeter had the decidedly opposite view. He said we can do alone perhaps better than with joining with Germany. And that was, of course, was something. He was right, of course, but he was not. It was against political party politics. So he lost his job, and then, but with his good relations to the banks, he started a bank, but was completely unsuccessful with it, and had to, the bank became bankrupt. And then he gave up these practical things, and he was also, friends told him, you are a top economist, academic economist, you should go on that path. And then he accepted a position in Bonn in, I think it was 1925, and he had huge amount of debts, and he gave talks at the Chamber of Commerce, everywhere in Germany, I know from my people of my parents' age who were craftsmen and merchants and so on.
They listened to him.
Who all, when I talked about Schumpeter with them, they said, oh, Schumpeter, well, I know him.
I remember him.
I remember him. I talked about this and that with him, So he was, every week, he had 2 or 3 talks in chambers of commerce or chambers of crafts, in especially North Rhine, what is now North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany.
In order to pay his debts.
In order to pay his debts. So it went all in debt. And then in 1930, 1932, Schumpeter applied for a chair in Berlin, a famous chair, and he wanted to go to Berlin, and that was the top you can reach as an academic, to go to Humboldt University.
Sure.
And he was placed number 3 on the list, you know.
So he got really angry, I suppose.
He was very angry, and then immediately, shortly after, he accepted an offer to go to Harvard University.
That is why he escaped
Yeah,
all
it was-
those bad
it-
times.
Yeah, it
and,
was not because of the Nazis. It was
Nazi.
before the Nazis. Before the Nazis took over power, he went to the United States, and there I have once read a very interesting biography on him. He was the best paid professor in the United States. He earned $13,000. And with that, he could, you know, he was rid of all his financial problems.
Schumpeter is one of the examples. Let me just share, because this is actually, I think I surprised you in the first volume when I wrote, because I'm also very much attached to the history. What happened in Poland? Well, the science of state is not far from us, because you remember that Poland was partitioned. So we were under the Prussian as well as the Austro-Hungarian rule.
Yeah.
So it's not that surprise what you said.
Mhm.
But the surprising thing, and this is in the first volume, is in Poland, it's probably because we lost the independence. But I also noticed that it was not that uncommon before the First World War, that there were societies gathering lawyers and economists. I noticed that it was something that in France, but in Poland, there were regular congresses where economists in 19th century were meeting lawyers, and they were discussing. One thing which I checked, because I found those papers from 19th century, in one of the papers, one of the scholars said, well, because they changed the law of enforcement in Prussia, yes, the cost of the credit will go up.
Yeah.
Because the one who gives the money is not so much secured as was before. So you see, this is the classical, I would say, proof that the lawyers were actually understanding the economy, which is not so much common at the moment, yes, when we think. So that was one example. The other example, we are Poles under the legend of Leon Petraszycki. That's the professor who was in St. Petersburg, but he also wrote in German, yes, and he was also in discussion about BGB. That means your civil code. He was using, then he developed his own theory, and his theory is regarded that he trying to prove or try to argue that the law is also psychological, yes? He tried to say, these are impulses in your head, and those impulses bring you to become legal in terms of acting. So what I'm trying to say, we as Europeans are not that far for saying that in the first wave, we had a lot to say, because the only thing which Americans can say, and this is not against Americans, we are just discussing, that was institutionalism, which was much stronger in America in terms of the number of people trying to develop institutionalism, yes, than I think in Europe. Would you agree?
Well, yes, I think I tend to agree to this. We had these joint faculties where economists and
Lawyers were sitting.
lawyers were sitting in the same faculty. They were all dissolved either before World War II or after World War II. We got this, and but there are some remain in Bonn. That has never been the case. Bonn, the University of Bonn, is one of the few staatswissenschaftliche Fakultäten who kept this tradition from the 19th century up to date, and they are proud on it. And they were also one of the first to establish a curriculum on law and economics. I think it's possible there to study law and economics for a bachelor program and for a master program.
So let us also notice the last thing, and then we will go in another episode to the second wave.
Yes.
But let me just say what I have discovered. We do have a famous journal, which is called Journal of Law and Economics.
Yeah.
It has been established in Chicago. We know that Ronald Coase was running this journal. We are very familiar with this. But I always surprise people when I say that in 1900, the same Journal of Law and Economics started in Jagiellonian University in Krakow, yes, where you had the papers by economists and lawyers. But what I notice, Hansbert, is that once the First War finishes, there is more and more detachment, yes? So the papers before the First War were, I wouldn't say uniform, that means everything was written, but there were many traces of both disciplines in those papers. But after the First World War, it detaches, yes? Would you think that that's also what we could say economics as the science becomes more and more mature, yes? And it becomes more and more independent after the First World War. Can we make that conclusion?
Well, I think economics after World War I and even much more after World War II became a science detached from law, detached from institutions.
Okay.
So that is, that what we call traditional microeconomics and traditional macroeconomics. The economic discipline which developed in the United States, as it developed in the United States, and found its way into textbooks. There you don't see institutions; they simply do not exist. Or implicitly, of course, there must be some assumption about institutions. So traditional microeconomics, for instance, assumes implicitly that people maximize their profits, that they are maximizers of their utility and so on, but they always observe all contractual obligations.
That's a beautiful assumption, but it doesn't exist.
It
We
doesn't
agree.
exist.
We agree.
That's just to illustrate how economics developed. But before World War II, there was a development not so much driven by economists, but by lawyers themselves, which was very influential, and which was related very explicitly to the idea that legal scholarship is related to policy aims.
Okay.
Zwecke, as we say, policy aims, der Zweck im Recht. And it is Rudolf von Jhering, a lawyer,
Famous one.
a famous lawyer of the 19th century, who was very explicit about this. And if the law is to serve policy aims, then you are immediately in social sciences and economics. There is, if you believe that the law is about concepts, not about policy, but about concepts, you don't need to think about the consequences of the law. But if you believe that the law is about reaching policy targets, then you have to know, or you have to develop views, informed views and scientific views about how the law works, what the consequences of the law is. And that is what we in law and economics call consequentialism. So that is, you are immediately in consequentialism. And I personally have the highest regards for Rudolf von Jhering because he developed this. He developed, for instance, the legal form of culpa in contrahendo, saying that even if people don't have a contract, there's some relation between them which imposes duties on them. Even though they have a no contract, you must. And that is a very economic idea, a very economical idea. And this is one of the most important legal
concepts
or developed by him,
yes. Yeah.
institution. And I read recently that more than 70 countries have imported this from, it was first introduced in Germany and now more than 70 countries use it, including the United States, but not England.
But including Poland as well,
Poland
because
as well.
that's something which we will discuss, and all the watchers can, if they are able to read in Polish, or German or Portuguese, they can read it in those books. But Rudolf von Jhering will be in the second volume, yes, because we developed a special section towards his idea. But last but not least, we have to remember that it was actually developed outside of BGB, yes?
Outside of BGB, yes.
In case of Poland, it was enacted within the Code of Obligations.
It was enacted in Germany too, but only a couple of years ago.
Yes,
for more than 100 years,
yes,
it was the law. It was judge-made law.
Yeah, indeed. But let us stop now with this first episode, and let's move into the second wave of law and economics in the second episode of our talks. Thank you very much. We went through details of history, and we hope that we have not bored you. But in the next episode, we will continue, because in the first one, we discussed the issues about so-called first wave of law and economics. And now we move into the second wave of law and economics. I think this is something which is quite common for many people who are studying economics or they are studying law.